It's so swollen and so bruised.
I haven't come to Tahiti to win or to walk away with any titles or trophies. I've come here to learn from some of the best watermen on the planet. And hopefully earn their respect. From as early as I can remember, I've been around water and the ocean. As a kid, there was never a weekend where I wasn't competing at surf lifesaving or being near the water in some way or another. I've won, I've lost, and experienced everything competitively in a sport that I love. I've spent my life training and competing as a professional athlete, but I now want to know how I stack up against some of the best watermen on the planet, the Polynesians.
Well, for me, a waterman is just someone that has a good connection with the ocean, respectful, and is aware of where his place is. For me, nature will always be the main thing, and realize that ocean and the wind and the mountains are something bigger than you. You feel the energy, and that's what makes a waterman for me. Somebody that enjoys what he does in the ocean.
The people of Polynesia, as we call it in the Polynesian Triangle, we got the best of the best here. And being part of the best is that even our genes are adapted to these kind of conditions. It's in the blood. You say, hey, blood is like, you know, part salt, part water. When you think about how our ancestors migrated here, so you just imagine an area 1/4 of the planet, where you have Hawaii in the north, Easter Island, Rapa Nui in the east, and Aotearoa, New Zealand in the southwest, and Tahiti smack dab in the middle. To be able to find all these islands, you need the best, you need the strongest. In Tahitian culture, we're not above nature, we're actually part of it. Our ocean is a provider, and so we need to embrace it, but respect it so that it continues to provide. Like our reefs, like our valleys, you know, rivers and streams and the mountains. All of that is important. It's part of who we are.
You're out at Santa Monica at the Red Bull headquarters. Came into the high-performance gym here to do a little bit of testing, a little bit of mobility work with Tyler, which is really interesting to sort of see where your body's at. It's a good collection of information, gives you a bit of a stomping ground to see where your baseline's at.
Just sort of looking at low-impact exercises for you, but also things that could activate you and put your body in a good state before getting onto an airplane and sitting for however many hours it is to Tahiti.
And then tomorrow night, heading over to Tahiti and be competing in the Waterman Tahiti Tour event at Teahupoo. I'm not entirely sure what that entails as yet. Every time I've been over and competed here at this event, they seem to just throw a spanner in the works and just try and keep you guessing. Yeah, so those guys are gonna really put me to it, and I'm excited about the challenge.
I've always been really fascinated and had a big respect about Tahiti and the watermen in the way they go about this lifestyle, the way that they have that appreciation for the ocean. For me, it's been a sport, it's been my job and a career. I'd love to look at the ocean not so much as a job or as a career, but look at it more as a lifestyle and something that does bring me happiness. That was my desire to come over here, and I guess come over here as a sponge with an open mind and see how much I can absorb and learn from them.
Yeah, for sure everybody knows about Teahupo'o. It's a really powerful wave, but I don't know how to explain it. You kind of like have to make love with her and be nice, gently, but you gotta be committed too. Like, I don't know, it's something I never felt like somewhere else. When you grow up around that wave, you get used to it, so it becomes your playground after.
Teahupoo is one of those really special waves. As a young kid, you grew up with the posters of Teahupoo on your walls in your room. It's one of the most beautiful yet scary waves at the same time. There's not much margin for error. The wave out there is like nothing I've seen or experienced before. It really is so unforgiving, and this time I learned the hard way.
No good. I just went for a little bit of a paddle. Went wide, paddled out through the channel and was just sitting there watching waves come through pretty consistently, and a big wide west rogue bomb came through, and I scratched to get under the first one, just came through, and then the second wave of the set just completely cleaned me up. And yeah, this is a bit of a speed bump in the week for sure. I'm supposed to be racing on the board this weekend at the Waterman Tahiti Tour event, so might have to reach out to a few friends and see if we can find ourselves another prone paddleboard before the weekend.
Pete speaking.
Hey Pete, how are you?
You good, mate? How's it going over there?
Yeah, we've hit a small speed bump. I felt the full force of Teahupoo. I got caught inside on a wide bomb set, and I've snapped the prone board.
Oh, fuck. Have you?
Um,
Okay, what are we going to do? We need to get hold of one.
Yeah, if there's any chance we can find another board somewhere on the island, that would be amazing.
Okay, give me 15 minutes and I'll come back to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
See you, mate.
See you, mate.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
It's been a little bit of a challenge to track down some gear over here in Tahiti, but having Matahi and Manoa help us out the way that they have has been super helpful.
When I came to see him this morning, I saw the broken board and he was telling me about him getting caught by the west ball, so that was really funny. So went back out there, and then we found a few good ones, and that was good fun to share the lineup with him, just me and him, and Raymana came down too to help us catch some waves. He did really good because he was sitting in the west ball and then going for it.
It's almost two completely different Waterman worlds apart, but with the same appreciation of the ocean. And it was really cool to have Matahi take me out into his world, into his break, and show me how it's done. And just to sort of sit back and watch him was unreal. At night, to be able to go to sleep and hear the ocean still churning, still doing its thing, then you wake up in the morning, the fishermen are out there catching fish for the day. Everyone's up and at it, using the ocean as their playground.
Going over there and not knowing what to expect, who you'll be racing, what the distances are, what the disciplines are, it's all just a mental hurdle for you to sort of test your resilience and test, how strong you can be. Every day you're kind of waking up and it's just completely out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you've got to get out of your comfort zone to make steps forward. Bruno's a really, really solid waterman. He's just such a fierce competitor, and he's got such a sort of like that dog instinct attitude when he races. He doesn't give up, so you know that he's just going to push you right to the end. He'll give it everything he's got. Race one of the competition, and it's starting off with a sup paddling, something that I'm not very comfortable with, and it's certainly not my strong point. You're nervous as hell. We were hurting, the heart rate was through the roof, so even though I am comfortable on a prone board, it almost comes down to just like a slugfest. It's like a game of survival almost, who's going to break first. Yeah, finishing up after day one was good. To come out on top, get the win in the combo event was great.
But looking forward to day 2, knowing that SUP is my Achilles heel, that's my weak leg. It has me nervous going into the next day, knowing the endurance SUP event's coming, and I'm not sure how I'll fare in that. See you tomorrow, Bruno. Yes, tomorrow, early. I don't know what I must have stepped on a rock, just like in the softest part of my foot. It's so swollen and so bruised. Like when I ran that transition, I was so scared I was gonna like step on, like even touch it would have just crippled me. Day 1 done, almost injury free, no snap boards. Injured the bottom of my foot, that's it. I'll sleep well tonight. So next right and then go out the back.
Downwind, outside, come here.
Okay, and then to that buoy and then in here?
And yeah, that buoy and come back under the 425 tent. Today, first is the final of the 5th round, so there's a lot of competition in between the prone category and the sub. They're all fighting, so it'll be very interesting, especially when we have Matt, and then we have Bruno Tauro that came back also, who won the Waterman 4 times, so it makes the ranking very interesting. It's not about just doing one discipline. It's being able to do everything in the water, just connect with the ocean the most as you can.
When I got down the beach and Stefan explained the course, I was just instantly terrified. It was massive. I knew that the SUP was definitely going to be a struggle for me. It was going to be hard. Rounding that first buoy on the board already and feeling that headwind blowing straight in your face and onto your chest, I knew it was going to be such a long 3 kilometres punching straight into that. To then turn around and come back was just going to be such a struggle for me. After the day before's racing, I stepped on a rock when I was running a transition and seemed to have bruised the arch of my foot quite bad. That was playing on me already and just causing havoc. I was trying to block the pain of that out, the pain from my shoulders, the pain from my back. That wind was just on top of everything, making it such a struggle. Once that gun went in the prone race, I just took off the beach as quick as I could and tried to open up a little bit of a lead. It's very hard on prone paddleboards when you are paddling to break away from somebody later in the race, especially if they are sitting tight on your tail. Once I knew that they'd missed that wash and they were maybe 20 metres behind that, that's when I had to sort of like settle down and try and get myself into a bit of a rhythm. For me to be looking over my shoulder and looking back at them, that was a sign to me that I knew my body was hurting, I was exhausted. With the locals' knowledge and the way they read the conditions out there, they were definitely close enough to catch me. You need to read the surf and the swells around you, watch what the wind's doing and try and pick up those runs and glides. I watched those guys take a wider line a little bit further out to sea and it was definitely paying off for them. And I need to conserve energy where I can, but at the same time, I've got to keep hammering because they're just so close now.
I think at the end of the event, I came away with everything I could have asked for. I went in there and I executed my strategies for my strength races, the combo and the prone paddleboard, and I came away with a win in that. And then the SUP, I knew for me it was always going to be about an experience. It was going to be going over there, and it was just, for me, it was a personal battle to go out there and test myself against those guys and see just how talented they are, how skillful they are.
He understands what it is to sacrifice, what it is to be committed. And he was sensible enough to be very humble about this experience.
There was 3 different disciplines, and I had 2 strengths and one very, very noticeable weakness, which in the SUP event. I guess you come away humbled with that, you know.